Hello everyone! Wow, my hands are moving fast. Today is episode 2 of my cut series. Latex and tissue. I probably should have mentioned this in the last episode, but it's best to have some sort of towel that you don't particularly care about under your workspace. Keeps the place clean. Also, latex does not come out of fabric. Okay, on to the makeup. As usual, start with a clean base. This time I'm taking a lip liner and mapping out where I want my cut to go. This doesn't mean it's going to end up that way, but it's a good start. Next, take a sheet of facial tissue and separate the plies. Tear the single plies into strips. You should only need about 1 plie's worth of strips. You'll want a few smaller, going up to a few bigger. Latex. I was originally going to put it into a plastic cup, but decided against it, and I'm using a metal palette instead. Take a torn sponge and stipple the latex onto the desired area. Then lay a small strip of tissue onto the wet latex. Then tear off the excess when it's dried a little. You want to start small and slowly layer larger strips over top. This prevents any sharp edges from occurring that would normally come if you just layered the same thing over top. Trying to create a mound, not a cake. Keep layering latex tissue until you feel you have enough layers. A small note though. Keep the layers to a minimum, especially in high movement areas. The more layers means less movement. Now, on to the pros and cons. Pros! It's fairly easy to use, and the materials are easy enough to get a hold of. The latex tissue combo lies flatter on the skin than most other options, so it's good for certain things like a Chelsea smile, for example. Does not require any additional adhesives to stay on all day. Cons. It takes forever to dry, so it's not very time-friendly. Due to the tissue being much lighter in color than the skin, it's much harder to color match skin tone. It does not move well, and will fold and stretch weirdly. Another note, latex should always be the last layer you put down and should be a little bit bigger than the tissue area itself. Like I mentioned already, it takes forever to dry. So there's a lot of waiting involved. But once it is dry, it should look a little bit yellow, and obviously should be dry to the touch. Latex is still sticky when dry and will stick to itself, so you should always powder it. Powder generously. Take a brown. It can be anything from a contour color to an eyeshadow, just so long as it's not too dark in comparison to your skin tone, and apply it all over. This helps balance the light of the tissue to make coloring easier. Apply some concealer and/or foundation. This will be covered up later with other coloring, but this helps cover the tissue and can make coloring a little easier. Now the other coloring I mentioned. As usual, I will be using alcohol colors to match my skin tone. And a better method than what I'm currently using is to actually use something like a toothbrush or an old paintbrush to actually spray the color on. It diffuses a bit better that way. powder to remove shine. Sorry I'm out of frame. I apparently forgot you people existed. Take safety scissors. These are scissors you can get at just about any drugstore with a bulbous tip instead of a sharp one. This prevents you stabbing yourself or anyone else. And cut into your layers of latex and tissue to make your cut. Take some dark red and lightly stipple it around the edge of the cut for irritation. Then apply some dark blue and dark purple into the cut for depth. Then just add blood. Scab blood for older and a bit of depth if you like. And fresh blood for, well, freshness. And your cut's done! Congratulations. Okay, so I meant to record how to properly remove this, as just ripping it off your skin is not good for it. But I apparently forgot to hit the record button. So here I am. Narg! You absolutely need to use a proper remover like isopropyl myrostate. I'll go more into depth as to what it is and how to properly use it in the next episode. Hope you enjoyed this mess. Bye! I probably should have mentioned this in the last episode, but it's best to have some sort of towel that you don't really care about under your workspace. Make sure you catch everything. I don't know what that was. I probably should have mentioned this in the last video. Yeah. This time I'm taking Next, take a sheet of facial tissue. Next, take a sheet of facial... What the hell? And separate the plies. I can't seem to talk today. Next. Why is next so weird today? Due to the tissue being much lighter in color, the skin... Another note. Latex should always be the last layer you put down. And it should also be just a little bit wider than... Another note. Then take a brown powder. It can be anything from a contour color to an eyeshadow. It should just be a little bit lighter. Wrong. Take safety scissors. These are scissors you can find at just about any drugstore. Why does it say and? How tired was I last night? Take safety scissors. These are scissors you can find at just about any drugstore with a bulbous tip on the end. This avoids stabbing yourself or anyone else. Yeah. Take safety scissors. I'll go more into depth into this.